Good morning and welcome back to Grapple. We're glad you're here with us today. Hopefully, you continue to watch service online from home. Maybe you have attended in the parking lot from your car, or maybe you're inside the sanctuary today for the first time in a long time. Wherever you are, we're glad you're here.
We're excited that things are starting to open back up, and hopefully you're enjoying the weather. It's a beautiful week this week, so make sure to get outside and get some exercise. The question that we're grappling with today is, what if Jesus is a lunatic?
So, I'm going to read the introduction paragraph right from your Grapple guide. It talks about a group of people called the Pharisees, and they really thought Jesus was crazy, a lunatic. The Pharisees loved religion, especially all the rules and all the laws. They were proud of themselves for trying not to break any of the religious rules. Jesus was different. He believed in forgiving people even when they maligned him, even if it went against the rules and the laws. So the Pharisees thought Jesus was completely crazy. He simply taught about love and forgiveness in a way that people had never heard or seen before.
Yeah, so Jesus' style was very different than what other people in his church were used to. They obviously, like Miss Carey was just saying, they loved just following rules and looking at the checklist and making sure that they were checking off all the boxes on that list. Um, but in Matthew 9, verses 9 to 13, we see that Jesus was hanging out with sinners, and a lot of people thought, "What is going on? He should only hang out with holy people because we're holy." And Jesus was like, "Guys, you don't get it." He said, "They're the ones who need my help." So it doesn't mean go hang out with bad people just to hang out with them, but go hang out with them to help them. Love on people who need God's love and who need God to save them. Um, a little further into Matthew chapter 12, verses 1 to 13, Jesus was breaking the rules again, and they were picking on him and his disciples. First, they picked grain because they were hungry. They picked some grain on the Sabbath day, which was against the rules. Their, you know, call it the Bible. They had something that was a book of rules. They considered it a book of rules, and it said you can't work on the Sabbath, and they considered picking grain work. So they said, Jesus can't do that. And Jesus said, again, he was like, you guys do not understand why the rules exist. They're not there so that like we can't have good lives. We have to be miserable and obedient. Jesus is more about he in Hosea 6:6 he says that God desires mercy more than sacrifice. Following rules, you think you're making a big sacrifice and doing something good for God, but He desires mercy. So if it ever comes into question that should you do something right and something good for somebody, or should you follow the rules, then you need to really think about it and ask God what He wants. Um, he also healed somebody in Matthew 12. He healed somebody on the Sabbath day, and the religious guys said again, they were like, he can't do that. That's work. And Jesus had to teach them a lesson about what it really means to show the world God's love versus show them that you can follow rules. So um, basically, that's why they thought he was crazy. They thought, like he grew up, and then he grew up like a normal Jew, and then at some point in his life, he started telling people he's God. So they were like, "That's weird." Like imagine if one of your friends did that. If when they got to a certain age, they said, "Oh, by the way, I'm God. I forgot to tell you until now." Um, so that's what we're going to grapple with today. Click on the lesson below and check it out. Feel free to print that out and discuss it with your family. And God
Yeah,
bless.
we hope to see you soon.